Hello, everybody, and welcome to another installment of our Bigger Picture Show interview series, where we talk to local artists about their contribution to this year's Bigger Picture Show, a gallery-style poster show where Indie's best designers and illustrators reimagine classic film posters. All of this, of course, to benefit Indie Film Fest and sponsored by Lodge Design. Today, we are talking with Ashley Woodrum, who created a poster based on Jurassic Park. Welcome to the show, Ashley.
Hello, thanks for having me.
Thank you for joining us. I love your poster. I've been looking at it all day.
Oh, thank you.
And not to mention that Jurassic Park is just one of my personal favorite movies of all time. This year is we're calling it the Bigger Picture Roadshow, and it's focused on sets and locations. So what was it about this location or set or scene that was intriguing to you?
Well, I think honestly, it's actually probably my favorite scene in the entire movie. I remember being, an 8-year-old kid in the theater, and just that scene scared me, but it also was just so intriguing because, like, what if those dinosaurs actually did come to life and attacked us like that? So I really wanted to capture that moment of awe, but also that moment of like sheer terror, like you don't know what's going to happen next. So
Oh yeah. And that that scene lends itself to an illustration also, with the way that it's lit with the single flare, and the fact that it's night and it's a storm. It's also dramatic. So you're saying you wanted to like capture that feeling. Is that what you were going for? Like, what ultimately were you trying to capture in your final product?
In the final product, I was like, you obviously see the pinpoint of light first thing, and then you kind of have to figure out what's happening around it. Like, you have to look a little bit closer to be like, oh, the dinosaurs emerging out of the darkness, and somebody's obviously in trouble, and there's a lot happening in that one scene, but it also seems suspended in time, but yeah, it was definitely a lot of fun to explore that particular scene, because I just kept rewatching that one scene over and over again, and figuring out how I wanted to execute that moment, because it is a really grainy film at this point. It's been out for a very long time.
Sure. Yeah.
It was kind of hard to make out the details of what was going on. So I kind of had to dissect it and then think about, like, how am I going to make this like a clear image of everything that's happening in one second. So
yeah, to capture it all inside the four walls of a poster.
Yeah, definitely.
That whole scene. And yeah, I love how you didn't use any true black, and it really, and it gives this effect of how it's glowing with the torch. And I also love the way you did the flame, how it's like comic bookish almost, would be a word I could use.
Yeah, definitely.
Not like a literal, like, bright fire. It's like sort of like a stylized fire, and I love that with the way everything else is sort of realistic. It's like, you're speaking of the colors and layers. How did you go about attacking this design when you set out to start making this? Did you develop a strategy, and did you use any certain programs or tools?
Yeah, so initially I started off with some thumbnail sketches, because I was trying to explore different compositions, and again, trying to like figure out a way to fluidly capture everything that was going on in that one scene. And I definitely, when I first started, I was like wanting to pack way too much into, I was like, oh, I was thinking about the goat leg and all these other things that were happening. And so I think that the sketching firsthand is the most important part. And like once you actually nail your composition and, you know, pick out your color palette, it's basically just running from there. And I definitely knew I wanted to go for, like you said, a more comic book animated style. So I actually downloaded brushes from True Grit, which I love all of their resources a lot.
Yeah.
So, but the program I use, I took a little bit different route. I did it all in Adobe Illustrator. So it definitely pushed my boundaries as far as using that program and learning to reel it back. Also, learn your, I say I probably should have done maybe a different route but I wanted to be able to scale it at any size, that kind of thing. But yeah, it just a lot of layers, and like I said, just pushing the boundaries, being like, what can I do to really make it dimensional looking, but using vector instead of raster. So I really wanted to be able to do that challenge and just be like, make it look a little bit different than maybe some of the other digital programs used. So
yeah, that's surprising. Like that this is all vector. That's pretty incredible. Yeah, did you use like a combination of a tablet, and did you go in with a mouse too?
Yeah, so it's a funny story. So I actually, when I first started the piece, I didn't have a Wacom tablet. I was using a mouse. So a lot of the line work is actually with the mouse.
Oh, wow.
And then I actually did go out and buy a Wacom tablet because I was like, you know what, this is going to make it go a lot faster, which I'm just used to using a mouse anyway. But it speeds things up exponentially. But yeah, and now that you can rotate the artboard in Illustrator, it's even better. So
well, that's great. Yeah, that's that new feature just dropped just in time, I guess, like a few weeks ago or a few months ago. So to be able to finish this thing off. So how many is this your first time doing Bigger Picture Show, or have you done it a few times?
So this will actually be my second one. My first one was the mashup, the mix-up show, which was a blast. It was such a fun challenge to accept because, you know, you couldn't use any text and everything like that. So it was a guessing game. So
that was really fun.
Yeah.
That was a fun one to go to and see everything.
Yeah.
And and the whole guessing component of it too. So since this is your second time returning, do you have a favorite thing about Bigger Picture Show that if you had to pick?
I would say, I mean, obviously seeing all the posters, but just seeing how people's imaginations just flourish in this kind of imaginative playground for us. I mean, like, there's no limits really, like to boundaries as far as, you know, how people execute different looks and just things you would never even think of, and seeing the talent, I think, that is around here is just amazing. And like, it's so refreshing and inspirational to go to these things and meet new people and catch up with lots of friendly faces that you might not seen in a long time. So I'm really excited about this year's show for sure.
Oh, me too.
Yeah, I'm really excited.
I can't wait. It's been a long time coming. Yeah. Having to postpone it and everything.
Definitely.
And it definitely is. You get that kind of energizing effect from seeing the amount of talent everyone else has and the amount of work people can put into these when they have the opportunity to sort of break free of maybe your day-to-day creative work and pour a lot of effort into a single piece.
Definitely. Yeah.
Man, well, yeah, I can't wait to go. I'm looking so forward to seeing everything printed and on the big framed posters and everything. And I would like to remind all of our viewers watching to make sure to come out and check out this poster and so many other awesome posters that are going to be on display at this year's Bigger Picture Roadshow. It's going to be at Circle City Industrial Complex on October 29th, and we hope to see you there. Thank you for joining us, Ashley.
Thank you so much.
And thank you, everybody, for watching. Hope to see you there. Bye-bye.
Bye.